Stay where you are! Stay where you are, show your hands. Yeah.
Jenny?
Yep.
Jenny?
Yeah.
Cool. The time is 12:12. You're under arrest on suspicion of murder against Jonathan McCullough and Lois McCullough.
Yeah,
Okay?
okay.
You don't have to say anything, but it may harm defence. If you do
No,
not
I just
mention
take my cover.
when in question, so much like report anything to do so with the evidence. Okay? Alright, your arrest is
I'll
necessary
cooperate, I'll
for a
cooperate.
prompt and effective.
Is there anything in the pocket we should know about?
Yes, there
Where?
is. Can I take you to it?
No, you can tell me.
Can we go in there for a second, just so I can tell you something about what's in there?
Yeah.
And then
Let's tell us
the only
something
reason
about
I
what's in
said I need to tell you something about what's upstairs on the top floor as well.
It's fine.
Yeah, okay.
It's a bit more quieter.
Is it here?
Yes, mind your feet, so obviously we
Honestly, I'm not that dangerous.
No, it's fine.
I know, but obviously I've got to be careful. My dad's body's in there.
Right, okay.
Yep, okay. Obviously I'll
What about
say,
your mum?
a little bit more complicated.
Okay.
That's why I said, can I go upstairs and show you?
Right, can you
If
explain
wanna
it to
bring
us, please? Because
officers,
we're trying to preserve this. It's now going to be a scene, so we need to preserve this the best we can. So I don't want you to have you walking up there, all right? Because that's for your well-being as well as ours.
Oh, no, up.
Okay. So what?
Thank you.
Where
Can I grab some
will we
hairbands
find your
as
mum?
well, if possible?
Where will we find your mum?
Okay, so upstairs there are about 5 wardrobes.
Yep.
It's behind the bed at the back next to the sink. That's the second one. Cheer up, at least you caught the bad guy.
I've
I
just
know, I
woken
don't
up
seem-
today
I
and
don't
done my
know,
job.
I don't
No.
That to me is beyond any imagining. Cheer up, at least you got the bad guy. The sort of cocky composure of a daughter who's murdered both her parents and hasn't even given their bodies any sort of burial or respect. David Holmes, Dr. David Holmes, is a criminal psychologist, and he's also the author of a book called Abnormal, Clinical and Forensic Psychology. And I know you've been busy tonight, Dr. Holmes. I think my first question is looking at Ginny or Virginia McCullough and hearing her interaction with the police who'd come to arrest her and charge her with those murders. I can't really describe the sort of person we're dealing with here. Can you?
Yes, I think I can. I'll come very near it. Here you have someone, I mean, most people's thoughts when you talk about kind of psychopathic or, callous killers, it's the idea of somebody with 2 heads and, enormous arms and things. It just does not actually translate into the reality that you see, which is a very calm, middle-aged lady, quite cool and composed.
Yeah.
It breaks that image, and quite rightly so, because most people who do kill do look like that.
They look normal.
Because
they sound normal.
Well, they appear normal. They're not. Clearly, in an abnormal situation, someone who behaves normal is not normal. Because they're controlled. They are not actually people persons. They are kind of things persons. She's kind of got a little bit of kind of autism. She's clearly psychopathic, which means from birth, basically, she's had lacking in her the ability to feel for others. To be a sentient person, to be somebody who cares about people in any way, shape, or form. So,
but are you saying
enables...
that? Sorry, just to interrupt. Are you saying that simply because of the evidence that she has admitted to killing her parents? Does that make you a complete non-empath, somebody who has no ability to love or relate to other human beings? Maybe it makes her. She can have that part of her still. She can compartmentalise, and her motive was money.
No, I doubt it. In this case, she's somebody who doesn't. She doesn't. She didn't kill them in anger. She didn't kill them because she hated them or because there was some immediate emotional turmoil. This was a callous get something out of the way. Because they were in her way in terms of finance, in terms of being able to do what she wishes, and continue to do what she wishes in running up debts on their behalf. And it simply, they got in the way, so they had to be eliminated. It's that cold, calculating way of dealing with people that is alien to most of us. It doesn't really ring very well with most people, which is why this is so disturbing. Because you have someone here who calmly just chats about, this body will be here, and if you look around the no, not that cupboard, the other cupboard. And there's a kind of central thing where she's in charge. Even though you've got police officers there, she's still in charge. She has a narcissistic streak where she is more important than the lives of anyone else.
And what about the fact that she cohabited with their corpses for 4 years? What does that tell you?
I think that cements what I've just been saying, really, because a sentient person who cares, who sees people as real people with lives and emotions, etc., wouldn't callously just quite simply shove them in a cupboard and carry on sleeping next to them. It just doesn't really ring. So,
have you heard anything like this before in your career?
Yes, I mean, it's not. I mean, there's a chap convicted in Liverpool, Brian Blackwell. He dispensed with his parents and left their bodies hanging around the house while he went off on holiday with his girlfriend and spent their money doing so. This is not unheard of, but this kind of callousness whereby someone who is female, someone who is seen as a calm, reserved person, could just callously carry out these deeds and carry on and face the consequences with not a lot of emotion whatsoever. Emotion and this lady, I'm afraid, are well divorced.
This does bring to mind, I think, another blonde, English, middle-class, supposedly normal woman who has been found to be a serial killer, the worst serial killer of neonates and babies in the premature baby unit of Countess of Chester Hospital. Of course, I'm talking about Lucy Letby, who has her advocates who they say this is a terrible miscarriage of justice. I mean, I don't particularly want to get into Lucy Letby, although I would dearly like to know whether you think this was a wrongful conviction or not. But first, Lucy Letby clearly was a danger to babies in the Countess of Chester and the Liverpool Hospital. Was, in your view, Virginia McCullough a danger to other people as well as her own parents?
I don't think unless people got in her way in some way, shape or form, then they were in no particular danger because she wasn't that bothered about them. They weren't killed out of passion. They were killed just because they got in the way. So if anybody else in her life prior to this had got in her way and disappeared, I'm afraid it may be the same story in her past.
Very quickly on Lucy Letby, do you have anything to say about those who are convinced that this was a wrongful conviction?
I don't think it is possible that this could be a wrongful conviction. And the Lucy Letby thing, basically, to summarise very quickly, is a lot of circumstantial evidence. I'm happier that someone is convicted with a hell of a lot of circumstantial evidence rather than one piece of evidence which is verifiable but possibly wrong. You can't get that much circumstantial evidence all pointing to her and no one else without her being guilty.